In the soft, late summer light of the Cotswolds, where rolling green hills meet the gentle flow of the Bybrook, Taylor Swift traded stadium stages for a more intimate celebration. On Saturday, August 15, 2026, the newlywed pop superstar attended the wedding of recording engineers Oli Jacobs and Laura Sisk at Peter Gabriel's legendary Real World Studios, nestled outside Bath in Gloucestershire, technically the village of Box, Wiltshire. The event brought together a tight circle of music industry friends in a setting that has long been a creative sanctuary, turning a personal milestone into a quiet gathering of some of the era's most influential voices. Swift arrived solo. Her husband of just over a month, Travis Kelce, remained in the United States as the Kansas City Chiefs opened their preseason against the Los Angeles Rams. The timing underscored the realities of two high-profile careers running on parallel tracks, one defined by football seasons and the other by an ever-expanding musical universe. Yet Swift's presence felt entirely at home among the marquees set up across the studio's gardens. Guests began mingling around 3 p.m., the afternoon stretching into evening in the kind of low-key creative atmosphere that Real World has specialized in for decades. She wore a dark blue Arcangela appliqué tulle gown by Costarellos, its gold embroidery and plunging neckline catching the light as she moved through conversations. Freshly cut hair fell in soft waves with a side part, her shortest style in years, framing a classic red lip. Pearl jewelry and a Cartier Love Unlimited bracelet completed the look. But it was the jewelry on her left hand that drew the most attention. The substantial engagement ring from Travis Kelce paired with a simple gold wedding band. Photos captured her smiling through conversations with the bride and groom and circulating among fellow guests. The ring's a quiet declaration of her own recent chapter. The guest list reflected the deep professional and personal ties that bind this particular corner of the industry. Sabrina Carpenter, Jack Antonoff, and Phoebe Bridgers were among those spotted. Antonoff, Swift's frequent collaborator and creative partner, has long worked alongside both Jacobs and Sisk. Carpenter's presence further illustrated the overlapping circles that form when engineers, producers, and artists spend years shaping records together. The celebration remained relatively intimate despite the star power, more garden party than red carpet spectacle, with the historic mill buildings and surrounding grounds providing a natural backdrop. Real World Studios itself is no ordinary wedding venue. Founded by Peter Gabriel in the late 1980s on the site of an old water mill, the complex was designed as a residential creative retreat. Gabriel wanted light, air, water, and the ability for musicians, producers, and engineers to work in the same space, rather than isolated booths. The result is a place where landmark albums have been made across genres and decades, from world music to contemporary pop, while the surrounding countryside offers the kind of quiet that city studios rarely provide. Oli Jacobs began his career there, rising through the ranks after studying at the University of Surrey's renowned Tonmeister course and assisting Gabriel himself. The venue choice carried personal resonance, a return to the place where Jacobs cut his teeth, now hosting the start of his married life. Laura Sisk's connection to Swift runs even deeper. The Grammy-winning recording engineer has been a constant presence on Swift's albums since the 1989 era. Credits stretch across Reputation, Lover, Folklore, Evermore, Midnights, the Tortured Poets Department, and the Re-Recording Project. In the studio, she has been the steady technical partner to Antonoff and Swift's rapid creative exchanges, capturing vocals and helping translate ideas into finished tracks. Sisk has spoken publicly of Swift's work ethic and the intellectual challenge of the re-records. Their professional relationship evolved into friendship. Sisk was among the guests at Swift and Kelce's own wedding at Madison Square Garden in early July. The reciprocal appearance at Real World closed a circle of mutual support that spans more than a decade of music making. Jacobs has similarly built an impressive resume that includes work with Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Harry Styles, and others, alongside his earlier years at Real World. The couple's shared life in the recording world made the studio complex a fitting and poetic setting. For an industry that often keeps personal and professional spheres blurred, the wedding felt like a natural extension of years spent in control rooms and live rooms, long nights and breakthrough moments. Swift's appearance also marked a soft public re-emergence after her own high-profile nuptials. Married on July 3rd at Madison Square Garden in a ceremony officiated by Adam Sandler, with her brother Austin as man of honor and Jason Kelsey as best man, she had largely stepped back from the spotlight in the intervening weeks. The English countryside outing offered a contrast to the scale of her wedding, intimate rather than arena-sized, collaborative rather than centered solely on her. Seeing her socialize easily with the couple and fellow creatives painted a picture of someone settling into a new phase while remaining connected to the people who have helped shape her sound. The broader context of Real World adds another layer. Beyond its technical excellence, the studio has always embodied Gabriel's vision of cultural exchange and artistic sanctuary. Hosting a wedding there feels consistent with that spirit, a place built for making things that last, now temporarily given over to celebrating a personal commitment. Marquees in the gardens, conversations under the soft English light, and a guest list drawn from the people who turn ideas into records created an atmosphere more akin to a creative gathering than a formal society event. In the days that followed, photographs circulated showing Swift's easy smile, the flash of those rings, and the company of trusted collaborators. For fans tracking every public appearance, the images offered both fashion notes and a reminder of the relationships that underpin even the most public careers. For those inside the industry, it was simply two respected engineers celebrating their marriage in the place where one of them first learnt the craft, surrounded by the artists and producers who value their work. Swift's attendance underscored something quieter than the usual celebrity wedding coverage. In an industry built on collaboration, the people behind the boards and the consoles matter deeply. Laura Sisk and Oli Jacobs have helped shape some of the most listened-to music of the past decade. Seeing one of the biggest stars in the world show up for their day, ring on her finger, newly short hair catching the light, moving easily among friends, felt like a recognition of that shared history. The English countryside, the historic mill, the marquees, and the low-key energy all combined into a celebration that prioritized connection over spectacle. As the evening continued and the gardens of Real World Studios filled with conversation and music, the scene remained true to the venue's purpose, a space where creativity and community meet. Taylor Swift, 1 month into married life and still very much part of the collaborative circle that has defined so much of her recent work, was simply there as a friend. In the soft light outside Bath, that presence said as much as any headline,